Hey y'all. Sorry. Delayed reaction there. It's early. Well, it's not. It is 12 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to keep saying good morning, but it is afternoon. Here, let me wash my face off quick. Can you see better? All right. Y'all, what happened was I went to a whole nother park, and I get over there, and there's two sheriffs in the parking lot. And I was like, God, they already got it popping first thing in the afternoon. It ain't even lunchtime, and the sheriffs are already on the scene. I said, I'm not staying here. You guys have been to that other park that I went to this morning. It's below Hanging Rock, which is a huge mountain here in North Carolina. It's like a community park with like they have like rivers. The Dan River flows through Hanging Rock at the very bottom of it flows below Hanging Rock. At the very bottom of the mountain, at the base of the mountain, there's two state parks. There's one that has a river flowing through it that you can they have like a rope swing. You can rope swing out and stuff. And then across the street, you guys have been over there with me before. When I had my truck, we would go over there and we would cook. It's right by the river. So I get over there, get a ride, get all of this stuff together, my lunch, my weights, towel to lay out, bathing suit. I mean, it took me 2 hours to pack all this stuff. I get over there, and I see the sheriff, and I'm like, that's weird. There was two of them parked. It's like, that's weird. And then I notice that they have the gate closed. I have never, ever seen that gate closed. I don't know what has happened or if it's some kind of community event and they're preparing. I don't know. But it was so many people that my anxiety, I was like, I need to go somewhere else. So I came back here because it's usually pretty quiet around here unless my mouth's running. And it's chill. We can lay out. We can work out. Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, why is this gate closed? And why are the sheriffs here at 11 a.m.? Let me tell you what happened. So North Carolina has always been a hub for Hispanics. My father ran a construction company, and our family, that's pretty much all we hired because of their work ethic, because of the respect. So we've always been a hub for Hispanics. But during COVID, things changed. We got a major influx. I would say millions. If you lived in this area, you would probably say millions too. It's crazy. The parks on the weekend, they get ruined down at the bottom of Hanging Rock. When I say ruined, I mean completely desecrated in 2 days. The Hispanic community comes out to the park there. We'll go down and film one day if you think it's a joke. It looks like, I don't know. It looks like somebody's sweet 16 birthday party out there every single weekend. And they come, they piss and shit in the river. They leave their beer cans all over the park. Their trash all over the picnic tables. I have been out there on a weekend where people came, partied, swam, and left. And they left everything. The cups, the plates, the food, everything laying on the table, and just walked away. Who do you think has to clean that up? Because tax dollars go to clean that up, I'm here to tell you. Your tax dollars go to clean that mess up every single weekend. I mean, it's crazy. There will be hundreds of people out there acting a damn fool. The level of disrespect, I just choose not to go on the weekends because I already know what it is. And it's really sad to see that community park not only taken over, but desecrated over and over and over. The wildlife disrespected, the ecosystem disrespected. I've watched my state turn into another country in the blink of an eye. It only took 4 years. And we're still reaping the consequences of that administration, the Biden administration, here in my small little community. You think it's a joke? I'll take you over there one weekend. I'll have to have a ride because I'm going to need to get the fuck out of there as soon as possible because it's dangerous. They have the cops sitting at the park on site with the gate locked. I don't know what happened, but I know that they're probably exhausted in Stokes County from dealing with bad behavior and disrespect in this community. You think that's bad? Let me take you to Planet Fitness over in Winston-Salem. Our lives will literally be in danger just walking in that gym. You don't know. You don't know. You won't know until it's too late. It is a shame. You know, and I'm going to shut up before the comments start. Racist? No. It's about coming from a third world country where the level of respect is completely different in the community than we hold here. You're supposed to assimilate, be respectful, throw your trash away, pick your trash up, not piss and shit in the river, not let your kids piss and shit wherever they want to in the park. You know, it's crazy. It's gotten so bad that I was over there 2 weeks ago. I went to use the bathroom on a Saturday afternoon, and they had the bathrooms locked. They do that because they go in there and they destroy them. I'm talking about piles of toilet paper, trash cans overfull, like nasty. Tampons just laying in the floor. They do things differently in other countries, honey. And when you bring a bunch of people from another country, sometimes they don't assimilate and they're disrespectful. And that is what I have noticed in my home state of North Carolina. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I don't know what happened over there. I hope law enforcement's safe. I hope that nobody died. I hope nobody died. I hope no child drowned or nothing. And that's another thing. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the difference in parenting styles, because there's bad parents everywhere. But something that I have noticed is that certain groups of people just let their children do whatever the hell they want. They don't even keep up with them when they're in these parks either. It's crazy. Yeah, I went over there, and I was driving through Mebane and saw a SUV throw a shitty onesie out the window. Mark, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I've seen some crazy ass stuff out here. They're doing the same thing to truck stops. Oh, and this, it's only going to get worse, y'all. It's only going to get worse. Specifically because of that new Trump bill. I'm so disappointed. I don't even want to talk about it. So disappointed in this administration. We ain't even made it through a year. It took 6 months to completely disappoint me. That's all it took. And you know, I got to give it to him. I got to give it to Trump. It usually takes about 6 minutes for a man to disappoint me. So the fact that he made it 6 months is a miracle. He's made it longer than any other man in my life. Wait for the shit to hit the fan. That's all I'm telling you. With that homeless bill, shit's gonna hit the fan, honey. Things are about to get 10 times worse when it comes to the homeless community because of that bill. You know, society had a problem with them sleeping in the woods. Well, how are you gonna feel about it when they sleeping on your front porch and they got squatters' rights, Susan? Where do you want them to go? That bill, that money that's gonna be spent to break up those homeless encampments, those millions, if not billions of dollars could have went back into our infrastructure to help people for years to come. You know, we could have made a new plan, a good plan, a plan that actually works, because the government plan clearly does not work. How many years have they been in power? How many years have they been helping homeless people? And how many years have they failed? So you sign an executive order to displace people that were already displaced because they couldn't afford rent, and you think that that's going to help the situation? We will see. We will see if I'm right again. I think it's going to create a whole new list of damn problems. And instead of spending that money to build shelters, to build housing, to build community programs, no, we'll just spend that money. We'll spend that taxpayers' money on creating a new problem that we'll need more money for next year, because we'll have those same homeless people moving into a different homeless encampment that we'll have to go break up eventually. So what they're really doing is they're stealing your tax dollars and they're using it as an excuse. They're using the homeless population as an excuse to steal your tax dollars, and they're creating a problem where they can actually keep funneling money back to themselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're going to move from this part of the wood. They're going to move from this part of the woods to this part of the woods. And in 2 months, more taxpayer money is going to go to move them from that part of the woods back to that part of the woods. So now we're playing an endless game of running homeless, already displaced people off to a new spot. That's your plan. And we wonder why nobody gets helped around here. We wonder why nothing gets fixed. We wonder why these things continue to happen and get worse. In my opinion, we got a lot of people in positions of power that are idiots. And Trump, he's about to make that list. He's about to make my shit list with all of this buffoonery he has implemented. It's crazy. You want to cut food stamps? So be it. I don't get food stamps. So be it. I work. You want to cut food stamps, you want to cut those government programs, go for it. But do not say that you're helping the homeless by further displacing them and not offering them drug treatment, housing, a way to get educated, a way to financially stand on their own feet. It's crazy. It pisses me off, y'all. It really does. It's disappointing, you know, between the Epstein files and now this mess, and then it's just one thing after another. It's like, okay, so when is he going to do something good? You know, cleaning out government, saving all this money. That's what they said, right? They're saving money. Doge, that was the point of Doge. Okay, that's great. But I was really hoping, you know, based off of his campaign run, I was really hoping that they were going to do great things. They were going to change things. They were going to implement new policies that actually help the American people. I'm sorry, but the big, beautiful bill doesn't help me at all. Neither does this homeless bill that they passed. Let me tell you guys something. When the public complains too much about a situation like the homelessness problem, if the media just broadcasts that our government is doing something, that is good enough to shut the public up more often than not. And so this administration is playing that game with the media and with the public, and it's bullshit. Just like the 12 or 20 tiny houses they built in Greensboro, North Carolina. I literally talked to a man on the street, and he said, oh, well, don't you qualify for one of those tiny houses in Greensboro? I said, sir, no. No, I don't. Why would you think that I did? Oh, because the media has led you to believe that there's resources that don't exist. How did they do this? They showed him these tiny houses that were being constructed in Greensboro, North Carolina, and now this man has a picture in his head that all homeless people can go and get one of those tiny houses. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. They probably built 12 to 20 houses, received 12 to 20 million in donations off of that WFMY News 2 segment. And where does that money go? And do you think that 12 to 20 people being helped is sufficient when we have millions? We don't know how many homeless people are out here. Let me tell you why. Because a lot of them don't want contact. Because of the way that they've been treated. They don't want contact. We can't get a general census of how many homeless people there actually are. I think it's a lot more than people care to acknowledge. And I think that the government is playing people. I'm watching it. I got a front row seat to society being played right now by the government. So you're going to divert millions of dollars to state workers, federal employees, whoever, local government officials to clean up these homeless encampments and get them off the street. Where do you think those people are going to go? You think all of a sudden because you bust up their encampment in the woods, you think all of a sudden they're going to decide to go get a job with no resources, no way to shower, no way to get fresh clothes, no food on their belly, no rest? No. They're going to move on down the wood line and make a new encampment, which is going to create a new problem. And more money will have to be spent. It's really crazy how dumb people have gotten. I literally had people talking about, oh, this is great, he signed a homeless bill. Yeah, he did. He signed a homeless bill, not to help homeless, but to hurt them further. I understand, Susan, that it's an eyesore for you to look out your bedroom window and see a homeless encampment over there. And if it bothers you so bad, then why don't you do something about it? Why don't you actually help people? Why don't you actually go talk to them and see why they're living in the woods? Ask them. If it bothers you so bad, then why don't you get off your ass and start helping? Because there's some of us that, the internet is prevented from doing that, and yet every day she still gets up and she gets out here and talks about things that matter. I mean, it's really disturbing that someone would have a home, a career, a family, money in the bank, and their main concern is some homeless woman that's staying in the woods a half a mile down the road. What are you scared of? I mean, seriously. They've done studies on this, and the studies showed that disproportionately homeless people face violence more than they subject others to violence. Like the lady that was burned on the subway cart in New York last year, set on fire as she was sleeping. Who was she hurting? Did she deserve that because she can't afford rent? Humanity, there is no humanity in humanity. It's heartless, soulless people walking around, shells of humans walking around out here. They don't want to think. They just want their problem solved. They just want that homeless encampment gone. I get it. They're nasty. They piss and shit everywhere. I see both sides. I wouldn't live in a homeless encampment if my life depended on it. But for some reason, that's what homeless people do. Studies have shown that most people that are homeless currently are homeless because they can't afford rent. It has nothing to do with drugs and alcohol. That's one of the things that pisses me off about that bill. I am homeless. I live on the streets. I don't do drugs. I don't even drink alcohol. So what's my excuse? Let me tell you something. Even if I found a job, which is impossible now, I have no way to get to a job. I have no car. So even if I found a job, and let's say I made $500 a week, which is actually huge for North Carolina because minimum wage is at $7, and after taxes, you're only going to get around $5 of that. So let's say I was making $500 a week. That's $2,000 a month. Do you know that I still would not be able to afford rent? That's the real world. Even if I made $500 a week, I still couldn't afford rent. I would still be sleeping in the bush. I really think that a lot of people live a life of privilege and they don't recognize that. I think they have a lot of help and resources that a lot of homeless people do not. And so it's hard for them to fathom what I talk about when I talk about these things. There are millions of people that don't have family like me. There's millions of people that lose their parents at an early age like me. I'm not the only one. Yeah, you would need to make around $4,000 or $5,000 to live comfortably every month. Car payment, insurance, power, water, insurance, health insurance if you need that, insurance for the car. It's really ridiculous. We have a huge problem with money coming in. There's no money coming in, but all of our money is going out, right? It's exhausting. I think that it's only going to get worse. I think the next 4 years are going to disappoint everybody in the Republican Party. I think by the end of the 4 years, every single Republican that voted for him is going to regret it. Already half the party is pissed. So half of the soldiers have already retreated to follow a new leader. I think by the end of the 4 years, the entire Republican Party will be disappointed in Trump. Maybe in 2028 we'll have a new party. I don't know. That would be the best outcome to this situation because the left, where I came from, that party is ruined. And now the conservative party, they're getting to where they don't act like they're conservative anymore. They've forgotten the mission, half of them. They forget that they are supposed to be walking with God on this side. It's disappointing. It's disappointing to see these people in positions of power that ran on the promise of making big change for all of us and enriching our lives, and they're doing the complete opposite. It's sad. I really had a lot of hope in this administration. It's taught me that both sides are evil. Both sides play a game together before they play a game with their own people and their own party. They will work together over working with us, time and time again. That's what I've learned, is that both parties are evil and corrupt, and that both parties are part of the swamp. It sucks. It really does. I really thought that the conservative party was about God. I thought they were about what was ethically, morally correct. That's not the case. It's unfortunate. That's not the case. Oh, we have a weirdo coming over here to bother me. Done saw me off live. Let me call the law because I'm not dealing with this today. And he's blaring music. Looking for a problem. Notice where I was at. Yes, I'm at the Mayo State Park in Madison. Yes, it's the Mayo State Park. When you first come in, I'm going to be to the right. I'm out here and I'm actually working, and I have a problem with people following me off the internet. I have a social media channel, and I have people that follow me off the internet, and they show up messing with me. And I guess, hold on one second. I'm sorry. I have this guy in my mouth. This is really crazy. Media channel on YouTube, and people see that I'm on YouTube trying to prevent me from working by playing music. I guess I want to. Oh my God. Are you there? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't get service out here. That's another huge problem. I have a problem with people stalking me off the internet. I work from home. Yes, it's. I'm going to be out here working today, and I really do not want to have to deal with being stalked out here. I mean, it's no exaggeration. All of this is recorded. I go through this 2-3 times a day. It's Brooke Clark. Yeah, the issue is that they always come in with a ruse like he's fishing. He's only here because I'm here. I know it for a fact. I don't think so. About 50 feet from me. Black male, early 20s, Charger, black, Carolina uniform. He has on a full Carolina uniform. Baggy basketball pants and a jersey. I literally cannot even go to a fast food restaurant without some dude coming to hunt me down off the internet. It's exhausting. The last time I was at this park, no, I do not know who he is. In a vehicle, a black Charger. Yes. No. I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Okay. I am. I'm right next to the bathrooms. Thank you. So the cops are on the way. This is getting exhausting, you know. I want ladies to understand that there's always going to be a ruse, whether it's just them saying, hey, good morning, or whatever, you know. Anyone that hasn't been here before and doesn't know what's going on, you don't have skin in the game, you shouldn't be running your mouth. Some of y'all are really dumb, and it shows that y'all are predators. I go through this every day. Mind your business. Every single day. It is. And you know what, Quad? Not only do I go through this every single day, but I get it on camera every single time. I'm making a report, and if y'all want to keep coming out here and playing, then I'll keep making reports. It's ridiculous. Y'all are sick. Y'all are absolutely sick. Y'all think because I put my life online that I deserve to get stalked. Y'all are sick. This is how I make a living. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Ain't nobody paranoid, honey. You can't call me paranoid when there's hundreds of videos of me being stalked. Shut up. I mean, some of y'all are dense. Dense as hell. You don't see things for what they are, and that's your problem. You really think he's out here trying to fish. Y'all are stupid. You're stupid. Everyone that thinks that he is out here to fish is an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. God, it's exhausting. No amount of evidence, I mean, literally, evidence could just whack you right in the face and you'd still be saying, oh, the sky's green. I mean, I really just feel like maybe I do need to strap up with body cams because people just don't get it. We're living in the upside down. We're living in the upside down. I'm not going through this every day. I have every right to be here and not be harassed and stalked. Isn't it funny that I go live and 20 minutes later, after everybody sees where I am? Typical behavior, might I add. That's usually what happens. What about the guy from Planet Fitness? What about the guy from Planet Fitness that hunted me down off the internet? Remember, he sat there in front of me at Planet Fitness watching me on live as I was talking to you guys. There's video of this. And then he got out of the car and he come up to my window, which was rolled halfway down, and proceeded to tell me that he didn't follow me, his friend followed me. And his friend wanted him to come and find me and give me some gas money and support my channel. You know, it's so crazy. You know what he didn't show up with after he said that his friend sent him with money to give to me? Money. He was a pervert looking for a date. Still have the text messages. All of that was recorded. It was some stalker off of YouTube. What about the guy just last week that was following me around town? And I had to file 2 police reports in 2 different departments. What about that? Yeah. We've been through it over here. So I call the law from now on because I'm covering my bases. Because I'm already a double felon for stabbing 2 people, and I'd really hate to have to stab another motherfucker. But I will if my life comes down to it. And all of these teenagers, they're tweens, that come out here with these roofs, with their puppies, with their fishing poles. Y'all are dense. Y'all are really dense. I hope you never run into Ted Bundy. Because you'd be dead. You'd be the first one to be dead. It's so funny, you're sitting here calling me dumb, but you can't even see things for what they are. Who's really dumb? I mean, seriously, some of y'all, it'd be so easy to kidnap y'all. I got candy in the van, little girl. Hello to Canada. Absolutely not. Do you see the color of that pond? Absolutely not. Thank you. Thank you for Fun 62. Great point. Absolutely not. Do you see anyone else? Great point. Do you see anyone else? And you know, that's not the only pond. There's actually a pond directly beside this one. Yep. I always tell you guys that when it's a public space like this and people are all up in your face, it's because they want to be. There's another pond over there and another shelter and everything else. There's more picnic tables. There's actually a big pond that wraps around to this pond. So there's 2 of them. And I'm a little old lady out here by myself, minding my business, and every time. So, you know, we actually had a guy the other day. It was weird. He went in the men's bathroom, and as soon as he came out of the bathroom, he looked back. He saw me. I got all of this on camera. His entire demeanor changed. He pivoted on his foot to come over here to where my property was. And then he pretended like he was reading this sign so he could get as close as possible to me. And then without looking at where he was going, he walked around this table, almost bumped into me. All of this is recorded. I had to rotate the camera around to show how stupid he was being, showcasing how he was intentionally trying to get close to me. Here comes the cops. Yeah, they're absolutely fucking weird. Every single day I have to go through this shit. And I'm sick of it. So I'm calling the law every time somebody creeps me the fuck out. How about that? Let me go talk to them. I'll be back.
No, I get it. I
Yeah, I'm working out all the time.
look at it like back up in your life. Look at like one day, I'll be.
No, I'm not on live. No, that phone up there.
There's a reason I have to.
All right, y'all. Sorry about that. I wanted to talk to them and my face is on fire. We were standing out there and I'm sweating so bad. How did you know, Dustin? How did you know? Yeah, I'm fine. Y'all don't understand how much I go through this. It's been recorded. And it's crazy that people that behave that way get mad when I don't accept that type of behavior. I don't care if I broadcast my life from the Empire State Building naked. That's my choice. It doesn't give anyone the right to come and try to bother me. You know? I don't have my bike. Why are you worried about stuff that's irrelevant? Lord. Well, at least the cops were cool. I mean, they understand. He even read me back the stalking law. He was talking about how stalking is classified as one or more. Their law, I read online, 2 or more unwanted contacts. He said 1 or more. So I didn't know that. Yeah. And I told him, I said, he didn't bother me. I said, but, you know, I'm just going to have to start calling the law when I feel uncomfortable because I have this happen so much and I can't even come out here and mind my business and work out without people showing up. It's no coincidence, you know? I know that most people would think it's a coincidence. It is not. Look at this place. It's empty. I'm not saying you can't fish here. I'm just saying I don't want you in my face. And like, not only that, the way you pull up blaring music like you're trying to get my attention, y'all know how that is. It's messed up my money. It's cost me money. It's took food off my table. I no longer have a car because of it. All of those little pieces to the puzzle make a bigger picture. When people come out here trying to interrupt my live stream with music, they're trying to take food off my table. Them's fighting actions. I think I'm being pretty fair by damn calling the police and being like, listen, I don't know who this guy is, but he pulled up being fucking weird and I can already feel the weird energy. The longer I've been sober, for the past 5 years, the more I can hone in to other people's, what their purpose is. I can read people like a book. I can immediately tell if they're up to something nefarious or not. You cannot get over on me. I see through people. The longer I stay clean, the stronger I'm able to hone in to that ability of my own intuition. That's what it is. It's intuition. We live in a modern world where the government and society teaches you not to think for yourself. And then you get kidnapped from a Walmart parking lot, killed, raped, and murdered, and your body stuffed across the street, and then they can't find you for a week. In my opinion, that's what thinking for yourself gets you. An early death, an early grave, a missed opportunity to save your own life. It's better to be safe than sorry. You know, the last time I was at this park, I had 5, 6 dudes do, you know, and in this guy's defense, he didn't come anywhere near me, thank God. But the last time I was here, 5 or 6 did. One of which I got on camera pivoting on his feet the moment he saw me. He came out of that bathroom and he was walking away. He looked back, he saw me over here, and he could not resist the urge to get as close as possible without me stabbing him. And listen, maybe some of y'all, nobody wants to bone y'all. I don't know. Maybe that's why you don't get it, because nobody's out here literally trying to bone you. That's going to make you angry and bitter. Don't come for me in the comment section, because I don't care. It's the truth, though. A lot of y'all, nobody would want to fornicate with y'all. And that makes y'all angry, and you want bad things to happen to me because nobody wants to bone you. I'm out here beating these bitches off with a baseball bat, like bats. in the wild, and it pisses people off when you don't want to reciprocate saying hello or speak. You don't owe anyone anything, and nobody owes you shit either. Just because somebody says hello to you does not mean that you have to say it back. And more often than not, if you're a pretty girl, the only reason they're saying hello is because you're a pretty girl. That shit pisses me off. Because we were taught that we're supposed to treat everybody equally, like I do. It's crazy. If I'm in a good mood and I want to speak, I'll be like, hey, how you doing this morning? If I ain't in a good mood, I keep my mouth shut because I know whatever's going to come out of it's going to be mean. You see that awareness I have? At least I'm honest. But more not often than not, when we were bicycling down the road and we're out here playing at the... Riddle me this, Batman. Why ain't one woman bothered me? Where's all the women out here? Where's all the women? I ain't having to beat them off with bats. Dominic, thank you. Oh, God, you're pitiful. Thank you for the money, though. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye, you hear? You know, teaching women how to respect themselves, how to protect themselves. This is going to be, you know, more content to come on this because women have been taught from early education not to think for themselves. And then the feminism got them all messed up in the head. And now they're really screwed. They hate men, but they don't even know they have a right to fight back against them physically if they were under attack or an attempted kidnapping. How scary. No wonder they hate men. They're confused feminists. Oh, God. Confused. Very confused feminists. Seriously, though. I mean, from an early age, they teach them not to think for themselves. When Emma almost got kidnapped out of her job last week, the media spent the whole 2-page article describing why Emma was in her legal right to fight her attacker that was trying to kidnap. He literally yoked her out of her job. She was a gas station attendee. He jerked her out of her job, and he made it about 50 yards to her car. And he was shoving her in his car. We didn't need an explanation. Matter of fact, I felt like Emma should have got an award. Can we give her a cookie? She just saved her own life. And the media is sitting there mansplaining why Emma had the legal right to fight off her attacker. That whole article really showed me how dangerous things are becoming. If someone broke into your house and they were trying to kill your kids and you shot and killed them, I don't need an explanation. All you need to tell me is that someone broke into your house, they were going to harm your family, and you shot and killed them. And then I'm going to give you a cookie. We're living in a time, though, where people are being arrested for stuff like that. Yeah, we are. We're living in a time where right and wrong, the lines have been blurred from right and wrong. Clay? Who's Clay? It's not, no. If you want to use the bathroom, go use the bathroom. There was no reason for that man to be right here, right there, right there. Remember? See, some of y'all be coming in here and y'all haven't seen the videos. I would kindly, respectfully ask you to shut the fuck up until you watch the videos. You have no skin in the game. You're commenting on something that you know nothing about. I had 5, 6 people the last time I was here. I literally was laying there on the ground, minding my business, and I felt eyes. Women, you know, when you feel them, you can feel them. You're like, who is, I can feel them. Somebody's staring, and you turn around and boom, there's a guy with his head up your ass. That's exactly what happened. And then I had another guy come out of this bathroom that literally was walking away, okay? He looked back, he saw me, and then he could not help himself. And you know what? My camera was front facing for that one. And you seen him come out of the bathroom right here. You seen him come out. The camera was set up just like this. And he literally looks back, he sees me, and he could not resist the urge. He could not control his lust. He had to get as close as possible. Comes over here, and I pivot the camera. All of this is on camera. Pivot the camera just to show you guys that he is trying to get as close as possible. Now, whether he knew me from the internet or he's just some loser that's lonely, I don't really know. I don't really care. You know. I don't care if somebody's looking at me. See, y'all don't get it. Y'all are slow. Some of y'all are slow. My own followers, like, I guess I'm gonna have to get me a whiteboard and an expo marker and just break all this shit down. Seriously. Hey, Kimberly. Happy Saturday. I don't care who's watching me, honey. I film myself for a living. Some of y'all are literally perverts that need to be behind bars. You see this 400-acre park? There was no reason for anybody to be over here by this picnic table. Neither was there any reason for me to roll over with some dude's head up my ass. It's crazy. It's like, this is a park. I'm supposed to be out here enjoying myself. And every time I come out here, it's some weird dude in my face. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. We're going to work out. I'm still waking up, y'all. I ain't even had caffeine yet. They can go to the bathroom. I'm not anywhere near the bathroom. They can go to the bathroom. Lots of space. Lots of space. That's the point. 400 acres. That's the point. Yeah, because this is my job, Richard. And we're going to be doing this for the next 30 years, Richard. Get on board. I know that's what I was hoping for, a workout with no distractions, but I didn't even get started before the music went blaring, the car doors were slamming. He's in my face. I'm like, what is going on right now? Every time. You know, somebody sent me an email months ago, and they said that they thought that these perverts were showing up to see if I was as pretty in person as I was on the internet. I had never even thought about that. But that makes perfect sense. It really does. It really does. I guess you'd have to be a pervert to think that that's okay. But yes, it makes perfect sense. They get obsessed. They come up with this parasocial relationship in their heads. And then they think, oh, I know where she's at. Let me go see her. See if she looks like herself in person. And I really think that it's deeper than that. I think that these type of people feed off of the energy. I do. I think they're looking for a reaction. I think they get off on it later. Like Ted Bundy, Richard Ramirez, John Wayne Gacy. I can go on. And I just want to be clear that this type of behavior is the first step in becoming a predator. This is predatory behavior. To hunt someone down off of the internet puts you on the same list as Ted Bundy in my book. You're just as dangerous. You might not be all the way full-fledged using a puppy as a ruse yet, but you'll get there. Because you already don't have the basic understanding of respect. You have complete disregard for the law. And you're stalking someone. So you'll get there eventually, probably. I mean, if you don't have the control not to get in your car, crank it up, drive through town to where you know some homeless woman is going to be trying to work herself out of homelessness. If you don't have enough self-control not to get in your car and you don't have that natural cutoff mechanism not to stalk, Who's to say they don't have the cutoff mechanism not to rape and kill? It's the same in my book. You have no self-control. You can't resist your urges. You can't control your emotions. It's predatory behavior. I don't know what anybody says. I'll debate this all day long. And, you know, this is a whole new subcategory of crime. It's a whole new subcategory of crime, but also the psychological components behind this have been studied for years, and it's to incite fear. That's why they do it. That's why they come out and stalk me. It's to incite fear. It's to instill fear into the victim, and they get off on it. They get off on it. It's a whole new category of crime. You know, we have children being kidnapped through video games, for God's sakes. Is it any surprise that me as a grown woman out here filming myself brings in unruly characters at times? I don't think it's a surprise. I think that it's right on par with the rest of the internet world and platforms. You know, these platforms, they're not regulated like they should be. I know that because there's children all over my Facebook when I specifically say that you have to be 18 or older to watch this video. These things are not, you know, there needs to be more tougher regulations on the internet. And I think it's going in that way. You know, places like Virginia, I do believe they're banning cell phones, and like, you know, there's no reason a child needs a phone. Plain and simple. No child should be subjected to a cell phone. It's crazy. But these problems will probably get worse because of that, because we don't have laws on the books. And this is also, like I said, like a whole new category of crime that I don't even know what to call it. It's past stalking. It is stalking. It would fall under the category of stalking. But it goes deeper than that when you're a social media creator. You're getting stalked from every single angle. I'm getting stalked in real life. I've been stalked on the internet. My content is constantly stolen, and I'm stalked through my content being stolen. I'm constantly harassed through my email, places of business. The cops just told me that they get nonstop calls. That's what he just told me. He said, you know, you have people that call from your YouTube channel trying to have you arrested and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's been 2 years of the same people. I wish that they would get those phone numbers, trace those back, and arrest my stalkers, my first original stalkers. It's crazy. Yeah, he did. He said that they get calls all the time for me from people from the internet. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's none of your business where I sleep. Why would you want to know where I was sleeping? Why do you need to know where I was sleeping? Because the last time I told you people where I was sleeping, y'all called and had me fired from my job. The last time I shared any kind of personal information, I lost my home, I lost my car, I lost my job, I lost everything. Why would I want to share where I was sleeping with anybody from the internet? You live and you learn. See, the difference between me and most of the modern world is I learn from my mistakes. Yeah, time and time again. I said 2 weeks ago or a week ago when I started going off grid at night that was nobody's business. You don't deserve to know, because every piece of information that I have given you guys, my own followers turned around on me and then tried to break me down. No one deserves to know shit about my personal life. If I share something, you got a piece of information that day. It's crazy. The same stalkers that's been calling the police station are the same stalkers that called and had me fired from my job. I mean, seriously. It's the same stalkers that email my email, and I had to completely change my email over it. Both of my channel email and my personal email. I haven't even scratched the surface on what I've been through, simply trying to help others. It's crazy. I don't deserve any of this. I've never done shit to people like this. And matter of fact, I came to this community trying to talk about how I was wrongly convicted of crimes I did not commit in 2016. And as I was living through life with this channel, ironically, I was arrested again for more crimes that I didn't commit. You know, call me crazy, but I feel like that's God trying to show the public that these things happen quite a bit. Call me crazy, but I do think that there's a reason that I was arrested for crimes that I did not commit twice. And I don't care if it takes me 60 years to help people, I will. Whether it's in helping people through homelessness, out of homelessness, whether it's helping people in recovery, whether it's helping people not be a damn criminal, I don't know. I just know that that is my mission because I've been through all of these things and I have insight that most people don't. Foster care, DOC, CPS, the government. I know the government in a whole different way than y'all do. Most of y'all live in a bubble. I'm happy for that. Thank God. I don't want you to have to go through anything I've been through or anything bad, but I do think a lot of people live in a bubble. I think it's hard. We're taught that if somebody's arrested, then clearly they committed a crime, right? Unfortunately, that's just not the case. It's not the case. And I'm not saying that we need to not punish criminals because y'all know I believe in the death penalty. What a contradiction. This is why people say I contradict myself, right? Because I'm like, oh, we need to stop arresting people for stuff they didn't do. And oh, we need to implement the death penalty more. It's a contradiction. I get it. I think I do contradict myself. But I just see things differently. We have the death penalty for a reason. If we implemented it more, this crime would not be as high as it is because people know the penalties are death. And they're not willing to gamble with their lives. A lot of them would make a different decision. I know they would. I've been to prison. I've talked to these people. Used to be a criminal myself. So they would absolutely think twice before, if they knew that the death penalty was on the table and that they were going to get the death penalty if they committed some kind of horrendous felony, like maybe armed robbery, or if they shot and killed somebody in a robbery. If we implemented that death penalty, people would think twice. Not always, but it would help. It would deter the behavior. But also we have, on the flip side, we have 8 to 10%, and I don't believe that number. I think that number is probably closer to 12 to 15%, maybe even 20%. We can't get a general census because we don't know who's telling the truth and who's not. A lot of inmates, criminals, say that they're innocent. If you go to damn Raleigh maximum security prison right now and you set all those 2,000 inmates down and asked them how many was innocent, I bet you over half of them would say they didn't commit the crime that they did. There's zero accountability in a lot of criminals, okay? So my point is, though, is that the government lies, and that number of 8 to 10% was pushed out in like 2019. So we have 5 or 6 years of research that we don't have the numbers to. We don't have the stats because that number, that 8 to 10% of innocent people that were wrongfully incarcerated, that number was from half a decade ago. All systems are down. Courthouses are not being ran like they're supposed to be ran. I don't know if they've ever been ran like they're supposed to be ran, if I'm being honest. But all systems are down. So there's a higher chance of being convicted of a crime you did not do right now, probably more than ever, because departments have been defunded. People are getting dumber. I don't make the rules. I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings by saying that. I'm trying to encourage people to think for themselves when I say that. You cannot argue with the fact that people are getting dumber when 1 out of 3 school children can't read. Somebody told me the other day they went in Walmart and the cashier didn't know how to give them change back, you know? And I told y'all that I was in Food Line, or no, it was Walmart, and I had the same thing happen a week prior. She handed me change back that she didn't need to give me, and I said, you gave me too much money. I said, you only owe me 2 cents. I said, you can keep it. She's like, no, I owe you some change. It was like a whole bunch of coins. It was like almost $1. I was like, no, girl, you don't. It's crazy. So you can't tell me that people are not getting dumber when we have the test scores and the research to back that shit up. It's crazy. People get mad. She said people are getting dumber. Yes. Don't be one of them. Go find you an encyclopedia, girl. You better go get you a damn education and think for yourself. You know, I think it's always been this way, Quad. I think it's always been this way. I don't think the world has ever been a peaceful, equal, unified place. I don't. I think that things have always been rough. I think there's always been suffering and pain, and I think that it'll probably get worse. I think in some areas things have gotten better, and in other areas things have gotten worse. And I think that that's, you know, like how it's always been. I think that, like, you know, like, for instance, women have rights now. We have feminism. I'm not a feminist. Hey, Kenny, thank you so much for becoming a bronze member. Hey, Heather. You know, like, we have feminism now. I'm trying to think. So we have feminism now. Oh, well, that's actually perfect. And now we have a whole generation of children that's growing up without parental guidance. And they're not being geared in the right direction. Hold on. I'm cooking. Did modern feminism ruin the upcoming generation by not being parental figures? It's probably impacted it. Modern feminism. You know, women went to work. Women have, you know, women want to be men now. And vice versa. Sorry, I'm laughing because, like, it's comical. It's crazy. I feel like I live in the twilight zone, y'all. Y'all don't understand. I grew up a sheltered life with good Christian folks. Sometimes I be clutching my pearls because I'm just shocked at the state of the world, okay? That's a slogan for a t-shirt. I be clutching my pearls because I'm shocked at the state of the world, okay? Seriously, when I think about it. But I'm wondering if modern feminism has aided in the misbehavior and the downfalls of the upcoming generation. You know, look at all these teenagers acting a fool, raping old women. 91, what the hell? He was 14? Then there was the 79-year-old lady that was raped by her neighbor's son, and he was like 17. And then there was Sunshine. She was out paddleboarding in Maine, I do believe. Was it Michigan, Maine, Minnesota? One of them M names. She was out paddleboarding, and some 17-year-old boy from the campground beat the hell out of her, strangled her, and left her body in the ocean, in the lake. This was last week. There's, you know, I'm wondering how modern feminism played a part in the deterioration of children. That's what I'm saying. Do you see what I'm saying? In some areas, things get better, and then in others, they get worse. And I think that there's been a fluctuation of good and bad in the world for centuries. I think it's always been a shithole. And I don't think it'll get better. I think it'll probably get worse because of revelations and because of God's prophecy and God's word. I mean, if we really take a deeper look, and we should do that one day, at his word and revelations, we're living through revelations. You know, if you're a believer, then you know we're living through revelations. So, and I hope you're a believer, because God will be your best friend. He's the only person you need. Only person you need. Maybe. What rights wouldn't I have? I'm interested. Fatal light awareness, like what? Because, you know, if I'm being honest, my ass wants to be in the kitchen, okay? I like to cook. That's all I want to do. I want a big crock pot so I can take some food to my neighbors. I want to bake cookies for the entire neighborhood, okay? What rights that I want would I not have? This ain't Dubai, girl. This ain't Iran where I can't drive. Like, I started driving at 16 years old. Got a car, got a job. What rights? I'm just curious. I mean, I'm not trying to, I know I'm so damn cynical. I'm curious, though, what rights? The right to an abortion? Because that's murder. What rights? Abortion shouldn't even be legal. That's what I'm wondering, Heather. I bet you that there's an article or paper or some study they've done on how modern feminism has deteriorated early childhood development. There we go. I've been trying to figure out how to say it. How has modern feminism deteriorated early childhood development? Because I know that it's there. I know that it's there. The most important, listen, we've learned about reactive attachment disorder on this channel. Do you know what that stems from? Not properly bonding with your children. Those little psychopaths you see running around, yeah, that's because they did not bond with their parents. And then look at the numbers on narcissism now. Psychologists are saying 1 out of every 10 people are narcissists. The problem's getting worse. We got grown-ass narcissists having little narcissists, and then they're not even raising their narcissist, and they just hand them an iPad. Here, take this phone. Pornhub can raise you, son. Seriously. No. That's what you're doing when you give your child a phone. You're saying, here, let Pornhub raise you. See, the problem with parents is they all have the same idea. My kid would never. Your kid is the main one that is. Because you have that attitude, they know that they can get by with it, and they do it even more. It's crazy. No child needs a cell phone. I'm gonna die on that hill. A bank account. I had a bank account. You can't. How old do you think I am? Jesus Christ. I am glad that we have bank accounts, but I ain't no boomer, homie. From the time I was born until now, I've been able to have, like, basic human rights, you know? That's so funny. So funny. Anyone talking about drugs will be blocked. We don't do drugs on this channel. We actually gear people in the path of recovery over here. How old do you think I am? I'm offended. Talking about a bank account. Hold on. When did women get to have bank accounts? When were modern women allowed to have bank accounts? Modern women, like cave women, like 1960s. Hell, even my mama didn't even have no problems then. 1960 is when women could have bank accounts. Now that fatal light awareness, I do agree with that, with the whole clothing thing. God, you'd be ostracized for wearing damn spaghetti straps back then. They'd say you was a whore and that you were damn, you were just passing that thing around town because you had on spaghetti straps. Now that I have my own personal experience with because of my own family. So that part I do understand. I guess it is nice that I can come out here and work out and wear workout clothes, and this shirt's gonna be gone in a minute because it's already soaked. It's getting on my nerves. It's sticking to me. But I guess it is nice. The flip side of that, though, is even if you're a pretty girl out here working out, and I ain't even that cute, y'all. Y'all done boosted me up. Now I think I'm cute. Remember when I first started this channel, I'm like, listen, I don't put a lot of weight in my looks. Here we are 2 years later. I'm like, I'm a pretty girl. Anyways, yeah, what was I about to say? That's so funny. I wish I could see a video of that. I somewhere around here, I should clip that. That'd be hilarious. I'm not very pretty on the outside, but I'm pretty on the inside. And then it cuts to me saying, I'm a pretty girl. What 2 years of YouTube can do for you. It's funny. And I'm glad that we have women's rights, but those very women have went off the tracks. They have. They have. I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I'll be out here working out. It's 100 degrees. And I still have to deal with people telling me to put on a shirt and stuff. I am doing workout content. We've actually done that since the start of this channel, along with my cooking videos and crime videos and news. I mean, I do a lot over here. I probably should branch out, and I plan on it. I got that in the works. But like, when I don't have a car and I don't have internet and I don't have cell service and I also don't even have my computer right now, it's in storage, it's kind of hard to make these plans when I'm already homeless. See, when I had a car and I had all of these resources, all I needed to do was make enough money to pay for gas and my car note and YouTube didn't pay me enough, so I lost my truck. I have no control over the matter. I've been fighting for 20-something years to get out of this situation, and I'm right back in it because of the internet trolls. It's crazy. Oh my God, I need to get up and start damn working out. I got sweat rolling. This shirt is soaked, y'all. Yeah, one day I will fatal light. That's what I'm going to do in my retirement. I probably won't retire till 70 or 80 because I'm going to be physically fit. So I'll still be doing like half triathlons and shit at 70. So maybe when I settle down about 80, then I'll just bake banana nut muffin bread all day and cookies because that's what I like to do. Hey, Kim. Hey, Irish. I love that name, by the way. Beautiful name, Irish. I think I have some Irish in me. I think I do. I make cake in the crock pot. You know, I've seen that, Amy. I've never done that. Do you do it with like the box mix? I hear that you can just throw that Little Debbie. What is the cake mix? Oh my God, y'all. I feel like I'm the Mandela effect. What is the name of that cake mix? It is box mix, and I can't think. What is it? Betty Crocker. Thank you, Cameron. It was going to kill me. I would have been sitting here at 8 o'clock like, what is that cake mix? Like, that was going to kill me. Betty Crocker. I saw that you can just dump it in there, mix everything in, and then set it and forget it. I've never done it. I need to do that. And that, you know what, you guys? They got sugar-free cake mix now. Whole boxes. There is literally, in 2025, there is zero excuse to be eating refined sugar unless you just hooked on it, honey. Seriously, they got the sugar-free icing from Pillsbury. That's the other one. They got sugar-free Pillsbury full containers. It looks just like their stuff with the bad sugar. And then you got to be careful, though, because that stuff's made with sugar alcohol. Don't wake up in the middle of the night like me and eat the whole damn cake, honey. You'll have to call out of work tomorrow. If you know, you know. That sugar alcohol will mess you up. But flip side, TMI, if you're constipated, it's great for you. You'll be really happy you ate that cake. Yeah, that sugar alcohol get your stomach hurting. 3 hours. I use regular cake mix, and you make it like you would regularly make it, right? You just put the oil and the eggs in there, stir it up, and forget it. God bless you. Hey, sports girly. Yeah, I wonder if you can do that with the sugar-free. I'm wondering if it's made with that sugar alcohol, if it'll boil up in that crock pot like it does with the other cake mix. Well, if you consider $1,000 a month decent money, I guess that would be decent money for you. Stevia. Yeah, stevia is probably a better option. I wonder what that's made with. Was that made in a lab? I saw some the other day. I thought about it. What is sativa made out of? I know I need to get up. I do need to go. I need to work out. What's sativia made of? Cannabis? No, not sativa. Sativia. Jesus Christ. Cannabis sativa is a compound. I'm looking up sugar, not... What is sativa made of? Are you being for real or are you trolling me right now? Listen, I'm a little naive because I'm too trusting of people. Ancient carbon maps. Are you being for real? Because I need to see this if you're being for real. I need to see that. It's coming up as it is a plant. Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know. I used to know. Stevie, sativa. Yeah, I know. And oh, it's a plant. It's a plant. Thank y'all. Thank you, Amber. Sakura. Is that how you say that? That's my best guess. Going once, Alex. No, sativa. Y'all are killing me right now. Oh, God. Hey, Brooke. Y'all are killing me. That's so funny. What are sativa, sativia, who cares? Same difference. They both make you happy. Happy, happy, happy. Don't mess up and put too much sativa instead of sativa. Is it the same? Now I think it's the same name. I give up. My brain. It sounds the same now that I'm saying it inside. I don't know which one's which. That's why I'm laughing. Hello, Rachel. Welcome. Sativa. Yeah, that name. Y'all ever say a word too much and then it doesn't sound like a word? I know. Thank you, Brooke. I appreciate that. Yeah, you ever say something so much that it doesn't sound like a word anymore? I have that happen all the time. Oh, my water's melting. So I brought a sandwich today and some trail mix, and I'm not hungry though. I'm about to go all the way up. I guess that guy was actually fishing. Well, at least I got him away from me. I got magnesium gummy, 2 beef jerky sticks, some dates, some nuts, and a sandwich. And I also got more cherries. That was the last of the bottle. And frozen water and protein. That's a croissant. Croissant. I still don't know. Oh, sativa is the sugar substitute. Sativia. I mean, I knew the difference before we started talking about it. It was the wordplay that messed me up. Y'all ever say something too much? I don't know. Railroad, railroad, railroad. You say it so much, it doesn't even sound like a word anymore. Furniture moved. Was that one of his ruse? I don't know. I know he used a puppy and a broken arm. That would have been enough for me at 19. I'd been like, oh, you got a puppy and your arm's broke? Let me help you. And now at 37, I'm like, you think you gonna use that puppy as a ruse? Oh, I just snatched the cast off his arm and start beating the hell out of him. You can't pull that shit on me now. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, for real. I feel like women, especially young girls, they feel entitled to speak back when somebody speaks to them. Absolutely not. You don't owe nobody nothing. Sativa is better. Listen. Y'all know how I feel about that stuff. I think it's a better alternative than Big Farm, by far. I'm not saying that a schizophrenic shouldn't take their medicine, but what I am saying is that marijuana is a much better option for a lot of people. You know, it's been used for centuries for medicinal uses. I don't know how I feel about it being completely legalized because it is a gateway drug. Once again, I see both sides. That's probably why people don't like me. They're like, how do you support? I'm contradicting myself again. How do you support that use, but you also claim that it's a gateway? Because 2 things can be true at the same time. The women's room is right there.
I was just checking it out. They were like, are you going to figure out the bathroom situation? Because we've got a crippled one almost. So.
Oh, I love your dress.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I think that it can be used for medicinal reasons, you know. And I think that it would be a better option than some other things like Xanax. I don't know who thought that was a good drug, but, you know, the jury's in. It's not good. It's not good. And they said that it was a miracle drug for 30 years. I wonder how many people died. I wonder how many people still suffer with the addiction to Xanax. You know you can die coming off that stuff, right? That's how bad the withdrawals are. Just as bad as alcoholism and or heroin. I just think that, you know, maybe instead of popping pills, you should smoke a joint, Karen. You know, try it out. It's probably 10 times better for you than Xanax. And once again, I'm talking about using it for, you know, medicinal purposes for people that are stable. Not everybody can smoke weed. It can send them into psychosis. They can get crazy. You know, different things affect people differently. I do think that it's a better option than some of the pharmaceutical medications on the market. But y'all know I quit smoking years ago. I quit smoking a while back. We have cannabinoid receptors designed by God for a reason. I don't know if we should be doing heroin. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that maybe those are not, maybe God didn't intend for us. I get what you're saying, but maybe we shouldn't. Thank you so much, Mom of Two. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. That's all y'all. So thank y'all for that. We got a birthday cake the other day and a candle, and it was actually good. It was tiramisu. And you know, not saying heroin. Maybe, I've never tried poppy tea. Does that mess you up like heroin? I would hope not, but. Hello, Felipe. Is that how you say that? Yeah, that's funny. Well, I mean, really though, if you look at any major blue city where they legalized the stuff, it's not going well. The drug problems actually got worse because studies show that it is a gateway drug, specifically for high school children, early childhood development, and tweens. So I think that it's acceptable for adult use. I think that anyone under the age of 25 probably should not be smoking marijuana. It's going to stunt their growth. Yes, it does. It stunts your development, your hippocampus, all this stuff. There's something back here. There's something right there. Your prefrontal cortex is disturbed. That's what we have from studies. We know that children who start, and I say children lightly because I guess what is the typical use of age? I would say 15. That would be my best guess. What's the typical first age of use? Dang it. What's the age of typical first use of marijuana? 12 to 14. Jesus Christ, I was off. Oh, wow. It's even worse than I knew. Studies indicate that the likelihood of trying marijuana increases steadily from the age of 11, with peaks around 16 to 18. Problem cannabis users tend to start using around the age of 15. And let me tell you something that I know. The sooner they start using drugs, the less likely they are to get clean. And that includes marijuana, because it is a gateway drug. I don't make the rules. I understand that a lot of y'all smoke weed and y'all feel some type of way about the existence of these studies. If you're not underage, why do you care? Oh, because you want it legalized for recreational use, so you just don't want to acknowledge the studies and the facts. That's kind of dumb. Two things can be true at one time. It's beneficial for adults, in my opinion, to have access to it. We just need to learn how to regulate it and how to prevent children having access to it. And also, we really need to focus on mental health in this country so the next generation is not turning towards substances to just make it through. Because that's why most people smoke. and drink and do what they do. They're just trying to make it through. Life is hard. I get it. I get it. Hell, I mean, the way people acting nowadays, they probably need to love that alien. We probably need to bring them out the wound and shove a joint in their mouth immediately, because the stress of the world, it'd probably be a happier place. I'm being facetious, but yeah, for real. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you guys. Thank you, Dave. That's what I was going to tell you this morning, is that I was thinking about it coming down the road. Like, obesity is the new heroin addiction. Obesity is the new addiction. It's crazy. Do you know how expensive it is to weigh damn 400 pounds at 5 foot tall? It ain't cheap. I can barely afford $200 worth of groceries a week. I don't know how some big people do it. It's expensive. It is not cheap to be obese. It takes years of practice, years of calories, years of money. Obesity is the new. Obesity is the modern drug problem. There we go. It is. And when you're getting to be that big, and I know because I've been there, when you're getting to be that big, you know what you're doing is wrong. It's just like having a heroin addiction. You know that what you're doing is wrong. And you know that you're doing it to yourself, and you can't stop. It's just like an addiction. Thank you for mentioning that, because I wanted to say that today. Overeating. Absolutely, Adele. Yeah, I know. I know. How? How can you afford that in this economy? It's crazy. I wanted a hamburger, and so I was looking at the stuff to make a hamburger. It would have been $25 for me to make a hamburger for myself. It was crazy. The meat, the buns, and then the toppings. It's crazy. I don't remember. Girl, I can't remember what I was saying 5 minutes ago. No clue. No clue. What do you mean clean addicts for drug tests? I'm confused. Student driver bumper stickers are the new service dogs. Yo, tell me why every time I get near one of those student drivers, it's so much worse than it used to be. That's another thing. It's so much worse than it used to be. You can use EBT on McDonald's and Popeyes? I saw another woman on the news talk. She was mad that she wasn't going to be able to get her nails done because the nail salon stopped accepting EBT. You know how mad I am. I watched that report 3 times just to hear what city she was in so that I could show my ass because I was so mad. I've literally lost 100 pounds through starvation. And this woman's out here getting a fresh set with my tax dollars? Excuse me? Can't make this shit up. Can't make this shit up. And I actually lost 80 pounds from starvation, not 100 exactly. You know? Thank you. Denny's. Is Denny's still a thing? I haven't seen a Denny's since Kernersville of like 2019. It makes me mad, you know? It really does. It makes me mad. And I think that the common misconception is that someone in my shoes, there's all these resources, but as you can clearly see, there are no resources. And then you got people like that milk the system. It's disturbing. And matter of fact, I might actually go apply for food stamps because I need them. I'm homeless. I make $1,000 a month and I have no car now and I had to drop out of school. So if anybody deserves something, I think it's me. That's what they were designed for a temporary basis. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I have ate today. Thank you, Joel. I did. I had some of that frittata because I was able to go by that fridge and pack my lunch. I did. I ate frittata. I think that's crazy. I think that's dumb. I think that would entice more people to get strung out on drugs just to get a paycheck. We need to stop giving people money. That's why the country is broke. I've worked my whole life. I work now. Never looked for a handout. Never. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Absolutely not. That would incentivize drug problems. That's what California did. Look at Skid Row. How'd that work out for them? I feel bad for the addicts too, but the fact is most of those addicts want to be using drugs. This is coming from an addict that wants to help addicts. Most of those addicts that use drugs want to use drugs. They want to do that. Most of those addicts will end up dead and in institutions and in jail. It's just the way that it is. I don't know about, you weren't on a soapbox. You weren't on a soapbox. Yeah, I think that addicts need tough love. They do. They need tough love. They need somebody to tell them, what you're doing is wrong. You're going to die. Do you want to live? Pretty simple. It's really sad to think that some people would choose to use drugs like that instead of getting clean and living a happy life, but I can assure you that their life sober is just as bad as it is on drugs, and that's why they choose to continue to do drugs. Some people don't have a future, especially if they don't have family and friends and a support group. You too. Why is it blocking that? I didn't block you, Bing. It does that. I don't know why it does that. We don't do retracted messages on this channel, though. That was a fake account anyways. I get so exhausted, y'all. Who in the hell thinks that it's a good idea to pay addicts to stay clean? Where the hell does this shit come from? And people call me dumb? You sure about that? Because I'm getting to a point after 2 years, not only do I feel pretty now, but I'm starting to see I'm not as dumb as people wanted me to believe that I was. I can't believe somebody would say that. That was stupid. Yeah, why don't we work on that? Psychiatric treatment and insurance. That's more sensible. Did he really just say we needed to pay recovering addicts to stay clean? That wasn't no clinical psychologist. Y'all know that person was full of shit, right? Clinical psychologists would not be saying, oh, we need to pay addicts. No, they'd be like, here, take these pills. This is going to help with your depression. This is going to help with your drug problem. Here, take this methadone. Take this Suboxone. That's what a real clinical psychologist would have been saying. Y'all, I'm dying. This shirt is completely soaked. Oh my God, the front too. Big ol', this looks like I mopped up a puddle with it. God, y'all hear my ankles? Yeah, that was them breaking. I think I'm gonna get started eventually. So I got my Big Boss 25. I don't know what we're gonna use this for yet. I don't feel like throwing it at the moment, but I still got a few 100 milligrams of caffeine left. So listen, if you want to say that I'm a drug addict, you can do that. It's called caffeine. Just get it right. This is my drug of choice. Nicotine, caffeine. Cheers. Happy Saturday. Thank you for 80K. And still. After everything, if I had my choice, I'd keep you instead of having 80K, because it's about the bigger picture. If somebody showed up right now and they were like, we've got 80K in cash, or you get to keep your channel, sell us your channel, we'll give you 80K in cash for your 80,000 followers, I'd still keep you guys. I might regret it in the future, but I'd still keep you today. Just for today. Hey, Miss GT 500. We're having an exciting morning. We didn't deal with the cops. Probably down. I think everything's fine. I hate coming out. I hate coming out here and being around people. You think so, Rachel? I don't feel like I am. I feel like I'm mean. I feel like most fitness coaches are like, you can do it, you can do it. And I'm sitting there like, don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. Like, I think that this smile fools a lot of people. I don't know if I would be a good personal trainer. I really don't, because people disappoint me and then I say mean shit. Like, yeah. Oh, it'll be linked. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to deal with people in that. I don't need to be dealing with people at all. I don't need to be around people. I'm a Ted Kaczynski, okay? I'm Ted Jr. I'm the modern Ted. I'm the modern Ted. I'm not gonna harm anybody, but I really wish that I would have lived when he lived. It's really sad. Seriously. Of course it would be the damn Unabomber that I identify with the most. I mean, I'm not the only one, though. I'm not the only one. He has a whole subgroup of people that madly respect him in modern society. They see that what he predicted came true. They see how technology has deteriorated society and humanity. And I mean, where was the lie? 36,000 pages. Where was the lie? What did he say that was wrong? What did he say that was a lie? It's really crazy. What was it called? The modern industrial, damn it. The modern industrial something. I haven't read the entire manifesto, but it's very complex. It's not something you can just pick up and read. It's like the origin of species, honey. It's going to take a damn whole thesis, a damn encyclopedia, 2 dictionaries, and then the internet too. And you might be able to get through the first page. Well, that's probably because I'm dumb. But if you're smart, you'll be fine. Hello. See what I mean? Literally have workout equipment, caffeine, and I got on a workout skirt, workout clothes, and then the perverts come out the woodworks. What was Ted Kaczynski's manifesto called? Industrial Society and Its Future. Jesus, I was so close. Damn. I mean, I was like 4 words away, but industrial society, I got that part, nailed it. Yeah, I do believe it's 36,000 pages. Oh, he typed that shit up too. I thought he wrote it. He typed that stuff up. The Black Dahlia. I'll have to look up that. Hold on. 35,000 words. The manifesto states that the public largely accepts individual technological advancements as purely positive without accounting for their overall effect, including the erosion of local and individual freedom and autonomy. Where's the lie? He made these predictions, and I don't want to call them predictions because he's not Nostradamus. He was just, I think his IQ was like 170, homie. He's one of the smartest men one of the smartest men we have on records to live. He could have done phenomenal things if they would have let him. But no, they used and abused him, fed him full of darn acid and damn used him for MKUltra projects and stuff. When he was a juvenile, he was underage. His brain wasn't even developed yet. I wonder if the acid and the experiments had anything to do with him flipping the switch and not being able to control his urges. I mean, I really wonder. He was a child when the university started toying with him. Ted Kaczynski, he was a child. He was like 15, 16 years old when he got accepted into we've talked about him before. Maybe we should talk about him again because he was an amazing man that made really bad decisions. Really bad decisions. He killed people. He was the Unabomber. So this dates all the way back to 1978. That's how long ago this was. And this is when the peak of technology, like when it was starting to take off, Ted knew that it was going to be bad. And because he was smarter than everybody else, he could predict what paths technology was going to lead down. And his entire manifesto was the nail on the head. Everything he talks about, he predicted because he was smart enough to, it's intuition. Just like I can tell you guys, I can see someone for that side of the lake and I can tell you what they're about to do based off of their behavior that they're currently implementing and displaying. He could do that on a larger scale, looking at humanity and how technology was going to impact the future world. It's not Nostradamus, it's intuition. And he knew that it was going to be detrimental to society, and he was absolutely right. Now, he killed people to make a point. He killed people for the notoriety. He wanted the manifesto to get out. He killed people in an attempt to share the manifesto with the world. He was absolutely wrong, and it's sad, but he was right. You know, two things can be true at the same time. He did horrible things, but he also was right. I don't know. I think that, what was his IQ? Hold on. I think it was like 170, but I could be wrong. What was Ted Kaczynski's IQ? He was brilliant. 167 to 170. At what age was Ted Kaczynski accepted into university? Was it Michigan, Harvard, Yale? Harvard! He was 15 years old when they started doing social experiment. And it's this ain't no social experiment. I take my words back. They psychologically tortured him, confused him. There's many documentaries on it. What they did to a developing brain, I do wonder if it impacted the outcome of his life. Because the drugs they were giving him, they were playing these games with him psychologically. And they're so intense that I don't even know how to describe them. When we talk about him one day, I do want to talk about him again because I know a lot more information than I know last time about him and his life story. But what they were doing were they were playing a psychological game with a developing brain. And it was very confusing for him. It goes deeper than just minor manipulation. There were drugs involved. There were adults involved that overseen these projects. There was money involved. It was a recipe for disaster. And poor Ted was caught in the crosshairs at 15 years of age in the grips of Harvard as they toyed with his mind. And I often wonder if it has anything to do with the outcome. Because he died in prison, I do believe. I think that's what he did. His bombs were similar to that, Raymond. They were, like pipe bombs with shrapnel. Yeah, I do believe when they raided his property, they found several bombs that were like ready to go or he was in the process of making. So he had more people on his hit list that he was going to air out his grievances with. He absolutely needed to be stopped. And I do think that, you know, him going to prison was needed. But I often wonder when somebody's that smart and in tune why doesn't the government step in to use those people for a good cause? What, you know, 'cause they were silencing him from the start of all of this. You know, he was outspoken from the start against technology. He had always been outspoken against technology. And, you know, the government wanted technology released because of money. So it's just crazy how that mind wasn't used. He could have been used for such good things because he was just so smart. And I think that even though he didn't have a good stand-in with the public, like he wasn't a people person. He was just like me. He was full of empathy and compassion for humanity, but he wanted nothing to do with them. I think that's why I love him. Like, I see him as caring so much about humanity and then being disgusted by them at the same time because they're being ignorant. You know what I mean? Like, he wants things to get better, but he lives in a democracy, but the people are retarded. You know? There was always a level of, like, empathy and compassion that I saw from Ted. He genuinely cared about the world in a different way. He really did. And he died. They locked him up and he died in prison. A unique name for a baby boy. Don't ask me baby names. I don't know. I know, exactly, Rachel, and it makes you want to get away from people when they behave that way. That's what I'm saying. And I do believe that that's why he isolated. Not to mention they tried to say he had schizophrenia. We've talked about this before. In my opinion, and I'm not a medical professional, in my opinion, Ted Kaczynski did not have schizophrenia. They tried to say he was schizo, and that's why he did this. I don't know about you. Have you ever met a schizophrenic person? Like, I don't think he could have built all of those pipe bombs, come up with all of those plans. I mean, he didn't even own a car. Let's think about this. He did not even own a car, but somehow he was managing to get from point A to point B to plant these pipe bombs, watch them explode. He didn't even have a car. And he was making moves. Like, I don't know. I think that, I don't think people understand how smart he was. I think he was angry. I think he was very angry that that society was deteriorating. You know how, like, when you start to get older in your 30s and 40s, you realize that things are not like they were when you were younger. Like, you know, parks and rec are restricted and, like, you got to pay for parking now. What the hell is this? You know, the world is just different. I think that the world was growing and Ted did not like the way that it was going. And I think that he took his anger and frustration out. And I think that he was trying to make a point. And he made a point. There's no debating that. He made a point. I mean, it's 20 years later and we're still talking about him, and maybe just me, but he made a point. Not in a good way. He was wrong. He was absolutely wrong. But here's the thing. Here's the crazy part. This is the craziest part. We would not know who he was if he wouldn't have committed that crime. That's the crazy part. I think he knew that. I think that's why he did it. I think that that's part of the reason he did it. And, you know, he was right about everything. That's the even crazier part. He was absolutely wrong. But his legacy, I mean, in the modern age, I don't think that his legacy is a bad one, despite the fact that he was a murderer. As crazy as that sounds, there's a lot of people that respect him. He was trying to do the right thing. He was trying to gear society in the right direction, and nobody would listen. To one of the smartest men on earth, mind you. He was literally the smartest person in the room at all times. And they didn't want to listen to him because it didn't go along with their agenda. You know, they wanted everybody to have cell phones and everybody to have technology in the classroom and everybody to have computers, and that's what happened. Hey.
Hi there.
It's a hot one today, ain't it?
It's so humid. It's so humid. You can just feel it as soon as you get out of the car.
You can. Name their baby boy. What are they going to name him? Oh, Avalon. Oh, is Avalon? Avalon. So English is my first language. However, I don't speak it very well. That's a pretty name, though. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I would guess Avalon, or maybe it's Avalon. I like the name Ava. It always reminds me of Wally. Ava. You too, Big Nook. Hope you're having a great Saturday. I'm going to stop running my mouth and get going in a second, I promise. I've done lost my headphone. It's tiny, it's black. I'm actually going to put your legs down. Can you move your legs? You got 3. There you go. I gotta fix your neck. Okay. You got one of them adjustable necks. You're like a giraffe. Ah. Oh, I hate you have to go to work. That sucks. I'm sorry. Come work with me. Just like the Toyota Avalon. Stop playing. Don't you do that to that child. Man. They gonna be toying with him the entire time he's in school. Bye, Rachel. Be safe at work. Try not to work too hard. And if you're hiring, let me know. That's funny. Don't you name that child after a car. Please don't do that. What's your name, little boy? Wrangler. You know they're going to get picked on in school. That's funny. Cheers, y'all. We'll probably lay out later. Even though it's like already 2 o'clock. I got a late start. I really don't feel like working out, but I need to. So I'm gonna do that playlist that I set up the other day. I got one that I made from like Triple X and Twisted Metal and all of these old movies from the early 90s, Point Break. There was some Steven Seagal movies that, listen, I don't know. It's just a mixed list of all these soundtracks. Some of them's kind of crazy. Oh, this one's from Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Is my glasses crooked? Or is that my head? Lara Croft Tomb Raider, the original one, the first movie with Angelina Jolie. We had gotten a PlayStation and we had that video game. It was so much fun. My mom loved that game. But I downloaded the album. It's actually really good. It's more like indie, like India. Like not indie, but like India type of music. There's a lot of like, you know, like, and then I don't know. I just know that it's dope, okay? I don't know what to call it. Let me sound like 2 cats dying in a bag. That's funny. That she was so pretty. She named her daughter Alexis. Stop playing with me. I thought you were talking about me not being able to afford a car. That's funny. Oh, my hamstring hurts.